Hello everyone. Today we are going to discuss about the topic Introduction, History, Scope and Development of Pharmacognosy. First of all, we'll have a look at the definition of pharmacy. Pharmacy is the science of drug making or which deals with their procurement, testing, storage and conversion into suitable forms. May it be tablets, capsules, emulsions, etc. Next, drug. Any substance used in the treatment of disease or diagnosis is known as drug. Diagnosis is the determination of nature of disease. Crude drug. It is a simple drug. Crude drugs are plant, animal, and their parts which after collection are subjected only to drying or making them into transverse or longitudinal pieces or peeling. That is, stripping off the skin or bark. They exist in natural form. Now, moving on to pharmacognosy. Pharmacognosy is the science of drugs of biological origin, may it be plant, animal, or mineral. Or the word pharmacognosy was coined in 1815 by a German scientist, Sedler. Has been derived from two Greek words, pharmakon, which means a drug, and gignosko, which means to acquire the knowledge of. Pharmacognosy is the subject of crude drugs obtained from the plants, animal, and mineral origin. Or it can also be defined as the objective study of crude drugs of the natural sources processed scientifically. Pharmacognosy is the study of medicinal use of various naturally occurring drugs, its history, sources, distribution, method of cultivation, active constituents, medicinal uses, identification tests, preservation methods, substituents, and adulterants. Now, talking about the historical development of pharmacognosy. History of pharmacognosy represents the history of pharmacy and medicine. Pharmacognosy had its origin in the health-related activities of the most primitive human race of the remote past. They acquired knowledge of medicinal properties of plants in the following way. First, by guesswork or trial and error. Second, by while searching for food. And third, by superficial resemblance between plant parts and the affected organs, that is, by examining the signature of nature. Next, by observing their animals' instinctive, that is, the natural one, discrimination between toxic and palatable plants. Next, by accidental discovery. The Babylonians, they were aware of the medicinal effects of a number of plants. Ancient Egyptians, on the other hand, possessed a sound knowledge of human anatomy as well as a knowledge of the medicinal uses of many plants and animals. Papyrus Ebers, written in 1550 BC, 16th century, and discovered in a tomb of mummy, much has been said about the skill and knowledge of these people in this field. It contained more than 800 formula and 700 different drugs that was mentioned in it. In India, the study of drugs was started about 5,000 years ago at the time of the Vedas. Ayurvedic system, which began from 1200 BC ago, list with 127 plants in it. Charaka, it has 50 groups of herbs, each for illness, which was mentioned in Charak Samhita. Sushrita contains 7 groups of 760 herbs based on the properties of plants, which was mentioned in the book named as Sushrita Samhita. Hippocrates, period from 460 to 370 BC, deals with the anatomy and physiology in many of his treatises, named as one of its treatises named as Father of Medicine. Aristotle, period 384 till 322 BC, the great philosopher, wrote much about the animal kingdom, and his writings were placed on scientific footing, free from all the superstitions. Theophrastus, period 370 till 287 BC, wrote about plants and described medicinal uses of plants. Dioscorides, a Greek physician of the 1st century AD, was the writer of the first Materia Medica from 40 to 80 AD. Here he describes 600 medicinal plants, including belladonna, colchicum, opium, hyoscyamus, etc. C.A. Sedler, German scientist, a medical student at Halle, Germany in 1815, wrote his doctoral thesis titled Analectica Pharmacognostica. Swede Linnaeus, period 1707 till 1778, the great systematist classified the plant and introduced a system of naming the plant known as binomial system. Galen, period 131 till 200 AD, the first pharmacist who described the method of preparing drugs of vegetable and animal origin and laid down many formulas containing in a treatise or thesis of 20 volumes. Pentisau Kang Moa, 1000 BC, published only at 1597, contained an incredible number of medicinal plants and drugs of animal origin. The Chinese thought that for every disease there must be a drug is only provided by the nature. Next, plant classification was developed by Biffen and Hooker from 1862 till 1863, A. W. Ishler 1883, Engler and Pranville 1887 18 till 1898, and in 1865 G. Mendel. Important observation was there on plant hybrids. Later, Boyle, Sirich, and others, they reported an anatomical characters of several powdered drugs. An anatomical atlas of powdered and vegetable drugs was compiled by Greenwich and Poland. In China, medicinal plant uses since 5000 BC. The oldest document, Pentsau, was written by Shi Nang. Talking about the scope of pharmacognosy. Pharmacognosy has broad scope in the field of pharmacy, such as first, isolation or analysis of phytochemical. Example, strong acting substances such as glycosides from digitalis leaves, alkaloids from the plants of belladonna, hyoscyamus, and rauwolfia, morphine and other alkaloids from the plant opium were isolated and clinical uses were studied. Next, talking about the structure-activity relationship. For example, tubercurin and toxiferin from curare plant have muscle-relaxing properties because of quaternary ammonium groups. The hypotensive and tranquilizing actions of respirin are due to the trimethoxybenzoic acid present in it. Next, talking about the drugs obtained by the partial synthesis of natural products. For example, preparation of steroid hormones can be done from diasgenin by acetylysis and oxidation and further preparation of cortisone by microbial reaction. 4. Natural products as models for synthesis of new drugs. For example, morphine is a model of a large group of potent drugs, cocaine for local anesthetics and atropine for certain sparvolatives. Fifth, drugs of direct therapeutic uses. Among the natural constituents, which even now cannot be replaced, are important group of antibiotics, steroids, ergot, alkaloids, vincristine, etc. Sixth, biosynthetic pathways investigation. Biosynthetic pathways are of primary and secondary metabolites. Some of the important pathways are Clavin's cycle of photosynthesis, simic acid pathway of aromatic compounds, acetate hypothesis for anthracene glycosides, and isoprenoid hypothesis for terpenes. 7. Cultivation and collection of medicinal plants. For example, clove, cinchona, cinnamon, senna, opium, etc. 8. Preparation of herbal formulations, example, churnas, aswas, arisas, leha, etc. 9. Development of tissue cultured plants. 10. Indigenous system of medicine. WHO utilized system of medicine based on the locally available raw material like the medicinal plant. 11. In the novel medicine. It is the infrastructure of novel medicine which depends on the evolution. Now, the development of pharmacognosy. The modern pharmacognosy occurred during period of 1934 till 1960. This development was mainly due to some of the events like discovery of penicillin, which was there in 1928, isolation of reserpine in 1952, anti-cancer properties of Vinca rosea, discovery of diascoria, which was utilized to prepare semi-synthetic steroid hormones. Pharmacognosy is an applied science. It played a crucial role in the development of different disciplines of science. Pharmacognosy is an important link between pharmacology and medicinal chemistry. Natural products got more and more therapeutic importance with developments like isolation of therapeutically active constituents, their identification and structure elucidation. There is a close link between structure and pharmacological action. Natural products serve the purpose of precursor for synthesis of several medicinally important compounds. Some isolated components from plants were made into different formulations and used as drugs. Step-by-step processes in biosynthesis of primary and secondary metabolites, they were presented before the world. Invention of microscopy and different chemical test reagents. Knowledge of plant taxonomy, plant breeding, that is propagation, plant pathology, plant genetics. It is helpful in the development of cultivation technology for medicinal and aromatic plants. Now, there are certain alternative and complementary systems of medicine, aka folk medicine, traditional medicine. For example, Ayurveda, Unani, Siddha, homeopathy, Chinese medicine, aromatherapy. Beginning with the first, that is Ayurvedic system of medicine. The word Veda means knowledge. It evolved from four Vedas, namely Rig Veda, Samaveda, Yajurveda, Atharvaveda. It deals with the diseases, injuries, fertility, sanity, and health. Beginning with the history of Ayurveda, there were texts of Charaka and Sushruta. Charaka, which was there in 1st century AD, wrote Charaka Samhita. Samhita means collection of verses written in Sanskrit, and Sushruta, which was there in 4th century AD, was there in Sushruta Samhita. 2000 plants that were used in healing diseases and abating symptoms were identified in these books. Various dosage forms according to its physical status of product. For example, first solid dosage form containing vati, churna, bhasma, mashra. Semi-solid dosage form example ablaya, gheta. Liquid dosage form containing kaila, asparagtha, alka. Now, the system of medicine which was developed during Arabian civilization was known as Unani system of medicine. In Europe, it is known as Arab medicine. It is based on well-established knowledge and practices relating to the promotion of positive health and prevention of disease. Traditional medicines in Egypt, Syria, Iraq, Persia, India, China, and other Middle East countries. The system of medicine was documented in Al-Qunun, a medical Bible by Sheikh Ali Sinha from 1980 till 10378 and Razi, and in many other books written by the Unani physician. The literature of Unani system is mostly found in Arabic, Persian, and Urdu languages. It is also based on the use of herbs and minerals. Basic principle is to treat root cause rather than symptoms was the main motto of this system of medicine. Next, talking about the homeopathic system of medicine, was there discovered by Hahnemann in 1970. Homeo, that means similar, pathos, suffering, based on the laws of similars, simila simulus curantur, effect of anti-malarial drug Syncona on his healthy body. Surprisingly, he found symptoms of malaria developing in him, which disappeared after he discontinued the drug. He continued his research in that direction by studying the effect of different substances on his close friends and relatives and ultimately published his discovery in 1967. The doctrine of simila, simulus curator, let like be treated by like is the basic foundation of it. A tree cannot be destroyed by just cutting its branches or roots because the branches may sprout again, was said in this book or doctrine. Uprooting is necessary if the tree is to be destroyed permanently. In the same way, a disease will not recur if the root cause of the disease is removed completely from the patient. Next, potencies and dilution. There were certain sources of homeopathic medicines, for example, the plant kingdom, various morphological parts of plants, fungi, etc., animal kingdom, secretion, saliva, poisons and whole animal, etc., minerals and chemicals, inorganic salts, non-metals, acids and mixtures, etc., important homeopathic drugs and their uses. These were the drugs that were discovered under homeopathic drugs like Allium cepa. It was for allergies and hay fever. Arnica saprophyticus. It was for aches and pain. Atropa belladonna. It was there used for headache and fever. Borax used for ulcers. Calendula. It was used as an antiseptic. Revolpium for treating hypertension and Utrica urinis for burn treatment. Now, talking about the next system of medicine, that was Siddha system of medicine. It was one of the most ancient recorded herbal system of medicine, dating back to pre-Ayurvedic period. It is believed to be developed with the ancient civilization of Mohenjo-daro, Harappa in the Indus Valley. Bogart, a Chinese who came into India and settled down on the Bazari Hills, is known for his extensive work on alchemy and medicine. Siddha Vaidyas have studied thousands of herbs and have arrived at tangible solutions for health problems which are relevant to the modern age. Theory and basic principles. Actually, there were three basic principles, that is, Vata, Pitta, Kapha, Trigona. That was used in all the previously described system of medicine. Talking about the treatment, Siddha Vaidya keeps the knowledge of thousands of herbs and their effectiveness in specific composition and formulation. Kashyam, which are also known as extracts, churnam, known as powders, Tylemas, known as medicated oils, Bhasmam, called as calyx prepared from calcination, Ghritam, that was medicated ghee. Kashyam for infants, it was used to treat jaundice in piles. Churnam, Panchmrukta, Padukai, Ashwagandha. Leham, Amla Leha, it was used for ginger leha, coconut leha. Now, the traditional Chinese system of medicine, that is TCM. TCM is a healing system in thousands of years old. A principle of TCM is that the interaction of people with their environment is most significant in creating health. Concept most central to TCM is Hui Shi, which is translated as energy. Hui represents as invisible flow of energy that circulates through plants, animals, and people, as well as the earth and the sky. Yin and Yang. They were also quite important system of medicines. Qi is further viewed as either yin or yang energy, opposites and complementary. Good health is present when they are in balance in a person or his or her total environment. Imbalance of yin and yang is considered to be the cause of illness or any sort of disease. Next, talking about the aromatherapy. Aromatherapy can be defined as the controlled use of essential oils to maintain and promote physical, psychological, and spiritual well being. Use of essential oils of plants to treat symptoms. Commonly used essential oils in a healthcare setting are ginger or peppermint for nausea and lavender for chamomile for insomnia. Aromatherapy uses pure essential oils to balance the body's equilibrium and to improve mental and physical health. It also involves more than fragrance. Plant essential oils have therapeutic powers in addition to beneficial fragrance and have antiseptic action in different degrees. The naturally healing art of aromatherapy is an excellent way to promote optimum health and vitality. It can reduce stress, improve sleep, and give you more energy. It can also improve your complexion, treat an annoying skin itch, and eliminate a stomach ache. That was all about this chapter. I hope it is useful to you. Thank you.